At this point, it's not very clear. The three-day meeting in Kandahar with the spiritual leader in attendance, apparently, obviously is important. We do not have details of what they have decided. I think that this is where they were going to agree to some type of power sharing. We don't know if the power sharing is going to take place at the higher level of government, meaning the ministries and the governorships and the embassies, or whether it's going to be at the second level of deputy ministers and director generals and so on and so forth as part of the bureaucracy. What we do know is that there is a lot of talking going on, has been going on for a couple of weeks now between the Taliban and other political stakeholders in Kabul mainly, and there's a lot of messaging that goes back and forth. And the Taliban understand that not only do they have to embrace and find legitimacy within Afghanistan with Afghan constituencies, but they also need to find legitimacy in the region, around Afghanistan, and beyond. So that message has been very clear, even by President Biden today, Secretary of State Blinken yesterday, the G7 the other day, and many others around the world, that they expect some kind of a power sharing arrangement in Afghanistan. This is a temporary political hiccup, serious one, obviously, but something that I think this administration is going to recover from. Obviously, a lot will depend on what happens in Afghanistan from here on. The humanitarian crisis is going to be watched very carefully. The aftermath of the U.S. withdrawal. But I think it's sort of natural to expect this issue, especially what happened with the evacuation of the airport, the focus, the media focus on Afghanistan and on the humanitarian aspect around the airport, the killings that took place, the suicide bombing, the loss of 13 American soldiers and hundreds of Afghans. All of this obviously has created a frenzy across the board, but there's a political cost, and I'm sure that the opposition groups and parties, not only in the United States, but also in other countries, are going to use it, and they're going to sort of ride the wave, the public sentiment wave. But I think that this is, within weeks and months, this could be managed, and it's going to get back to normal. Obviously, but he's the president of the United States. He did mention about the losses that the Afghan army and the military have endured over the years. The numbers in terms of Afghan civilians and Afghan military personnel lost in the past 20 years is over 200,000. The Americans, including the contractors, is close to 7,000. And plus about 1,500 other internationals who have been killed in the war. He also mentioned the $2.2 trillion. He also went into an area that I thought had not been addressed properly in the past. He talked about the cost to America. He talked about the cost to the families. He talks to the cost of, to the veterans. And he also mentioned something that really touched me. He talked about, as part of the PTSD and the after effects of war, of 18 young Americans taking their lives every day because of these wars. This is staggering. This is something that should touch every human being. And this is the American part. Now just look at what this means in Afghanistan. What does it mean in a society that has seen 43 years of war, in a society that for the past 20 years tried to rebuild itself, tried to find peace, but they were spoilers, they were warmongers, they were people who benefited from war, who did not want this war to finish. They wanted to continue this war, but look at the human impact in America, in Afghanistan, and so many other societies.